Welcome to College Sport Check for Friday, January 29th. Scores and schedules. First, the scores. College basketball scores from Wednesday and Thursday. Start with Wednesday as follows. Oklahoma defeating Texas A&M 91-67. Xavier over Virginia Tech 91-83. Baylor defeats Oklahoma State 69-65. Kentucky over Missouri 88-54. Purdue over Minnesota 68-64. Wichita State over Loyola Chicago 80-54. New Mexico defeats the Air Force 84-55. American University over the Navy 63-58. Ole Miss over Auburn 80-63. Morehead State defeats Austin Peay 75-65. UNLV over Boise State 87-77. Boston University over the Army 76-67. UC Davis over Cal State Fullerton 69-64. Utah over California 73-64. Winthrop over Charleston Southern 97-72. Lehigh defeats Colgate 79-70. Butler defeating DePaul 67-53. Georgia Tech defeating North Carolina State 90-83. Rhode Island over Fordham 79-53. High Point over Campbell 73-63. Jacksonville over FGCU 78-69. Kennesaw State defeats South Carolina Upstate 78-75. Liberty University over Gardner-Webb 69-55. Some other scores from Wednesday as follows. Lipscomb defeats NJIT 81-72. Loyola Maryland over Holy Cross 71-54. St. Joseph's over UMass 78-70. Murray State defeating Eastern Kentucky 75-71. Coppin State over North Carolina A&T 73-66. Delaware State over North Carolina Central 71-60. Maine defeats Hartford 105-100. Albany over Massachusetts Lowell 75-63. Indiana over Missouri State 68-59. Clemson defeating Pittsburgh 73-60. Radford over Longwood 90-81. Michigan over Rutgers 68-57. LIU Brooklyn defeating Sacred Heart 92-84. And the Dayton Flyers defeating the St. Louis Billikens 73-37. Colorado State defeats San Jose State 74-66. South Florida over Tulane 73-60. Seton Hall over St. John's 79-60. Colorado over Stanford 91-75. Marquette defeats Stetson 74-60. East Carolina over Temple 64-61. Houston over Tulsa 81-66. UC Irvine over Cal State Northridge 73-63. Binghamton defeating UMBC 66-57. Coastal Carolina over North Carolina Asheville 68-66. Northern Iowa over Bradley 68-50. Vermont over New Hampshire 66-50. And those are the scores from Wednesday. Here are the college basketball scores for Thursday, January 28th. Okay. Maryland defeats Iowa 74-68. Michigan State over Northwestern 76-45. Oregon over Arizona 83-75. Syracuse over Notre Dame 81-66. Appalachian State defeats Troy 75-71. Belmont over Jacksonville State 72-63. Central Connecticut State over Bryant 78-67. Grand Canyon over Cal State Bakersfield 70-64. Charlotte over Florida International 72-69. Cincinnati defeating UConn 58-57. Valparaiso over Cleveland State, 77-52. Wofford over East Tennessee State, 87-73. Hofstra defeating Ellen, 66-64. Evans over Southern Illinois, 85-78. Arkansas State defeats Georgia State, 75-69. Arkansas Little Rock over Georgia Southern, 80-67. IPFW over Oral Roberts, 68-63. BYU over LMU, 87-62. Marshall defeats Middle Tennessee, 82-66. Monmouth over Quinnipiac, 66-51. Niagara over Marist, 69-66. Charleston over Northeastern, 68-61. Webb State defeating Northern Arizona, 76-66. Ohio State over Illinois, 68-63. Old Dominion defeating Florida Atlantic, 78-66. South Dakota State over Omaha, 87-76. Arizona State over Oregon State, 86-68. Pepperdine defeating San Diego, 75-65. Eastern Washington defeating Portland State, 112-83. Richmond defeats George Washington, 98-90. Ryder over St. Peter's, 76-45. Mount St. Mary's over Robert Morris, 70-49. Sacramento State defeating Idaho, 65-63. San Francisco over Portland, 87-76. Gonzaga over Santa Clara, 84-67. Seattle defeating Utah Valley State, 73-62. Denver over South Dakota, 66-52. Southeast Missouri over SIUE, 58-51. Idaho State defeating South Utah, 87-68. Wagner over St. Francis of Brooklyn, 64-51. And then Fairleigh Dickinson defeats St. Francis, PA, 86-82. Tennessee Tech over Tennessee State, 81-79. And Eastern Illinois defeats Tennessee Martin, 82-74. Louisiana Lafayette, the Ragin' Cajuns, defeats Texas State 80-54, and Louisiana Monroe defeats Texas Arlington 99-88. Towson defeating Drexel 77-70. Western Kentucky over Alabama Birmingham 69-62. UC Riverside defeating Cal Poly 72-68. Long Beach State over UC Santa Barbara 80-70. UNC Greensboro, North Carolina Greensboro over Citadel, 102-95. And North Carolina Wilmington defeating James Madison, 78-73. Southern Mississippi defeating UTEP, 71-58. Louisiana Tech over UTSA, 85-75. Mercer over VMI, 73-58. Washington over UCLA, 86-84. USC over Washington State, 81-71. Furman over West Carolina, 62-60. William and Mary defeats Delaware, 94-79. And then finally, Youngstown State defeating Illinois Chicago, 82-78. Returning soon to the family of podcasts, the Racing Podcast and Baseball Update, available at apodradio.com and Spreaker.com. Hashtag Sports Racing Podcast. Racing is coming back. 3 more weeks till Daytona 500. We do RP and RP Express, so we're going to mess around a little bit. For those who are familiar with the program, the Racing Podcast returns on Thursday, February 18th, 7:45 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to talk about the Can-Am Duel, Sprint Unlimited, and of course get everybody set up for the Daytona 500. It's Motorsports Talk, February through November, the Thursday night ritual, and it's the Racing Podcast returning February 18th here at Spreaker.com, hashtag Sports, the same hashtag you're using to get this program, you can use to get, look for Racing Podcast, also available at apodradio.com, and also Baseball Update, all returning soon. Alright, so now there's no games tonight. I don't know why, but I couldn't find any online. So here is the schedule for Saturday. All right, and if we do miss anything, let us know. Hit me up at @MannyOl on Twitter. Best way to get it, and let me know if I do miss anything. All right, so here's the TV schedule. College basketball for Saturday, starting at 12 o'clock. It's West Virginia and Florida. Okay, that's over on ESPN. And then you have Butler and Marquette on Fox Sports 1. Okay, at 1 o'clock, it's Virginia and Louisville. 2 o'clock, Xavier and DePaul. That's over on the CBS Sports Network. Okay, and then it's also Iowa State and Texas A&M. Okay, and that's over on the ESPN. Then Minnesota, Indiana at 2:15 on the Big Ten Network. Miami, Florida, North Carolina State at 3 o'clock, ESPN 3, also at 3 o'clock, Washington and USC on the Pac-12 Network. 4 o'clock, Boston College, UNC, that's ESPN 2 at 4 o'clock. Then at 4:30, it's Nebraska and Purdue on the Big Ten Network. 5 o'clock, it's Oklahoma and LSU. So that'd be a good game. I think also the Boston College and UNC game. Okay, probably a good one tomorrow. Xavier DePaul. Let's see, Virginia and Louisville tomorrow. That's at 2 p.m. Let me see what channel that's on here. Let's see if we can find it. Right. Here we go. Virginia and Louisville, CBS tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So I just had to get that in there for you. So the Louisville and Virginia game, 1 o'clock tomorrow on CBS. So there you go. All right. And then also for tomorrow, here's the rest of the Saturday schedule here. All right. So So 4 o'clock, Boston College, UNC. 4:30, it's on ESPN 2. 4:30, Nebraska, Purdue, Big Ten Network. 5 o'clock, Oklahoma, LSU on ESPN. At 6 o'clock, it's Georgia and Baylor on ESPN 2. Alabama and South Carolina, ESPN 3. And then another big one, Saturday night, 7 o'clock, Kentucky and Kansas. Okay, that's over on ESPN. Kentucky, Kansas, 7 o'clock, ESPN. Okay, and these are Eastern times, all right. 8 o'clock, it's Memphis and SMU, ESPNU. And then on Fox Sports 1, it's Providence and Georgetown. And then at 9:30, it's Oregon State and Arizona. And that's over on the Pac-12 Network. Then for Sunday, January 31st, 12 o'clock Sunday, it's Villanova and St. John's over on Fox. 1 o'clock, it's Maryland and Ohio State, CBS. And then Wake Forest and Notre Dame on ESPN 3. Those are the 1 o'clock games. So Villanova, St. John's at 12. Maryland, Ohio State, Wake Forest, and Notre Dame at 1. 3 o'clock, it's Northwestern and Iowa, Big Ten Network. 4 o'clock, Wichita State and Evansville, the Shockers and the Aces on ESPNU. 5:15, it's Rutgers and Michigan State on the Big Ten Network. Then at 8:30, it's Oregon and Arizona State, the Ducks and the Sun Devils. And that's over on ESPNU. All right, so thank you, College Sport Check fans across the USA. We have listeners from other countries as well, so I say thank you to listeners in Brazil, France, and Russia. So there you go. Next College Sport Check update comes your way on Monday, so apodradio.com or Spreaker.com, and if you're on Spreaker.com, it's hashtag sports. From New York, this is Manny Allegretta. Be good and be safe. This has been College Sport Check.
That's it, sports fans. Thanks for watching, and good night.